cause we can't stop. Hear the sound of my money machine. See my brand new Benz, watch the chrome rims gleam. The agent investors will find a home of your dreams. Investing in real estate will have you rolling in green. With the power and the knowledge at our fingertips, we are here to share and help get you rich. Eating fancy dinner, driving expensive whips, working out your brain like chest pressing dips. Stop leaning on the books and the courses you book. The conversations we have cannot be taught. Tune into the podcast with Lewis and Lamort. Our knowledge combined won't sell you short. And I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Lamort here doing our podcast. The podcast is The Agent Investor with Lewis and Lamort, Michael Lamort, Luis Fernandez. And very excited to be doing another podcast. I'm having a lot of fun with this stuff. And today's guest is Joey the lawyer.
What's going on, everyone?
Clap, 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 clap. Love it. Nice to see you here in person.
Thank you for having me, guys.
You've been like a Instagram sensation lately.
You know, I'm trying, growing my followers and giving some knowledge, making some people laugh.
Yeah.
What I do.
So I had to, I had to put some time into preparing for this interview. So what I had to do over the last 24, 48 hours is I had to stalk your page.
Oh God. Okay.
And I was really diligently going through a lot of your posts. I gotta say, you're a very interesting human being. A lot going on professionally.
Interesting is an adjective I haven't heard before.
Very good. I meant that in a good way.
But I appreciate it.
You know, very interesting, meaning like there's potentially a lot to talk about.
Definitely.
I'm noticing a lot of different aspects of your services, which I'm really looking forward to get into, Lewis and myself. And one of the first things I really pointed out was that you're a Pace University graduate.
Yes.
In 2014.
2010.
Oh, okay, so I saw 14. Okay. So 10, makes it even worse. I'm gonna tell you why.
So I was like 20 years old.
Yeah, I mean, like, did you graduate college at the age of 18? Like, are you some super genius?
No, in 2010 I was 21 years old.
Wow.
I graduated law school in 2014 from.
Okay, that's what I have. The grad school, right?
Yeah, I went to Seton Hall Law in
Okay.
2014. I graduated in 2014 from Seton Hall, and I was 25 turning 26 when I graduated from Seton Hall.
Yeah, so that's pretty advanced, no? For the world of law?
For the world of law, it's probably actually right on track, to be honest, because most people are graduating undergrad 21 and going right into law school. I actually took a year off. So,
And still got on a good pace.
And so I'm like a year behind technically everybody else. But no, majority, which you'll be shocked, was some of my students, some of my peers, my peers, I mean, they were going to law school starting at 32, 33, 34. So yeah, I guess it's a mix. Depending if you actually know what you're doing, you really want to go to law, you're going to get out by the time you're 24 and start rocking and rolling.
Yeah, which is pretty good because you obviously you have a young face, so I'm sure you get that a lot, and people think you're very young, so that might maybe affect their perception because you look so young.
So you want to laugh? You want to hear my first funny story?
Please share.
I do part of my practice is criminal defense, which you know.
Yeah.
So
How does he know?
Because I read up on him, I was told.
Oh, okay.
I was talking to him, not to you. So my first time ever, I had to go to an arraignment in the Bronx on a gun charge. My boss sends me there, go do the arraignment. I stand up. Good evening, Your Honor. Joey Hladki for the defendant. Enter a plea of not guilty. Judge is on the bench. This is in a real courtroom in the Bronx. Judge, robe, prosecutor, courtroom full of people, and a client I never met before with a gun charge. Counselor, I have pairs of socks older than you. Thank you, Your Honor. That is great.
That'll put you on the spot a little bit, no?
Still, enter a plea of not guilty. Can we? So that, yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah.
So how did you handle that actually?
I just kept rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
I chuckled a little bit. Of course, Your Honor. Thank you. I know. First time in a courtroom. And I played it along.
That's good.
And the DA, the prosecutor, looked at me and said, "This is your first time?" He said, "Yeah, help me out." We walked through it. We did the arraignment. My client was released on bail. Went back to my boss, let him know our client was out. Got a pat on the back and did the next one.
That's good. That's a pretty good
Well,
story.
everybody gets a start, right?
Yeah,
no matter
absolutely.
what. I mean,
absolutely.
Everybody starts from the beginning, so.
I mean, I was, worried the first time I drove a truck before I was in, doing a route. When I was before I was in real estate, I'm sure I was nervous on my first buyer consultation, on my first listing appointment.
100%.
I think it's pretty normal.
Yeah, it's part of the process, right?
Yeah. So how many total years were you in college?
So college was 4 years, law school was 3.
So that's basically 7 years.
Total 7
Yeah.
years.
That's good math I have. And Lewis went to college. How many years did you go to college?
4 years.
4 years, and you went to
Manhattanville College.
Manhattanville College. So both of you guys went to college. I didn't go to college.
Okay.
So how would you?
Well, I went to college, but just went to college.
You signed in?
Yeah, I signed
You're like,
in.
yeah, here, Lewis here.
You know,
That was it?
Friday night activities.
You took advantage of everything but the education, maybe?
A little bit.
A little bit, right? But how would you rate your experience in school? Like, how was it? Was it what you expected? I mean, especially, the part of like the law school part, I'm sure is very intense. But like, how was it like as far as like socializing, the stress of studying? I'm going to assume that you're also maybe working a job or two to put some money in your pocket, right?
Yes. So I mean, Lewis, you could for college was fun.
Yeah.
College was completely different than law school. I ended up graduating undergrad pace with like a 3.8 GPA. I am not intelligent. I'll be the first person to say
What would be considered good? Because I know nothing about GPAs.
A 4.0.
So that's actually very good.
Yeah, it's very good.
Yes, very good.
And I know this is going to be a podcast. Sorry, Pace. I got good grades at the end of the year. I used to go to my teachers with a bottle of wine. Thank you so much for this class. It was a great class. I really enjoyed the lectures. Joe, you were here for 5 classes. How much did you really enjoy it?
You're not condoning bribery,
Really,
right?
no, not bribery. It was a gift.
Appreciation.
I appreciate.
Big difference.
I appreciated my professors.
Yeah.
I appreciate my professors, and in turn, they appreciated me.
That's good. That's a beautiful thing. I'm sure that wasn't the only reason. I'm sure
No. Listen,
you had to put your head down.
I did put my head down.
Had
I did.
to.
When it came time to study, I studied. Undergrad was much easier. It came easy to me compared to law school. Law school was the real deal. I was in there with some of the top, some of the smartest students out there. I guess I went to Seton Hall, top 50 law school at the time.
Wow.
So I was up there with the big boys. And these guys and girls, they were smart.
Yeah.
And
A different breed of people, right?
Every walk of life was in law school, and I think that's a misconception. There was a lot. I walked my first day into law school in a sweatsuit and a backwards ankle gap.
I can picture it too.
and then there were other students with suits on and everywhere in between. I went there with the perception that I was going to be very competitive, which it was. Everyone competed, they were ranked,
Yeah.
but they were very helpful. My friends at Seton Hall were very helpful.
Was there a significant level of stress dealing with the everyday head in the books? I'm sure, like, I'm just throwing a wrench out here, but like, before you were actually an attorney, the attorneys have this legal language, which is, we have language of real estate.
Correct.
Right? It's
Correct.
a different way of talking. So you actually have to learn that, right? And then second, part 2 to that question, basically, how much stress was involved in that, and what was the level of it, and what kind of like work were you doing on the side to put money in your pocket? Because when you're putting that so much time into your future life, it's not very easy to put a couple of dollars in your pocket. I mean, it takes a certain person to, and a lot of people do it, which I give my hat off to a lot of people that are able to really push that far. Luce is one of those people too, always go-getter, worker, always figured it out, but it's there are some people that, have it a little bit better than others.
Correct.
Don't have to work or whatever, and I wasn't one of those people and wouldn't change it, and I'm sure neither would Lewis. Makes the person you are in the future, but how would you rate that level of stress of being in law school and, you gotta succeed and you gotta, internalize all this new language of your field?
I think I've always put a lot of stress on myself, whether it was undergrad or anything else I've done in my life. So the stress was a different stress, because now I wanted to succeed to a higher level. I was the first person in my family to graduate undergrad, go to college, let alone go to law school.
Right.
So while people were telling me I was doing so great and this and that, yes, it was good, but in my mind I had higher goals. So I put more stress on myself than there probably was. But listen, hitting the books and learning the language, it's a whole new language. Latin, there's different terms, you gotta learn different jargon for different areas of law, because it doesn't apply across the board.
Yeah.
Real estate terms are different than criminal defense terms.
Yeah, which is definitely some questions I got about that in a little bit. Yeah.
Hitting the books wasn't the stressor for me.
It wasn't.
No, because hitting the books I don't mind the grind. I embrace the grind.
That's amazing.
Reading for me, it comes naturally, so I don't mind. And I had an hour and 15-minute commute to law school every day on the train. I took the 5 train from the Bronx down to Penn Station, the line over from Penn Station to Penn Station Newark, and walked to school. So I had basically 2 hours and 30 minutes in a day traveling and just reading my
So you
stuff.
took advantage of the downtime, yeah.
I took advantage of the downtime. Some books were on audio, so I would listen while I was standing on the train. The stress really hit when, like you said, it was bringing in some of the other aspects. Now, believe me, my mother and father did everything possible for me. I graduated college, but debt.
Oh, God bless.
My parents did well above and beyond what they thought they were going to be capable to do.
Fortunate.
So there was pressure there too, to do right? To do the right thing, right?
Yeah, knowing you have that help and that support
right.
from your families.
Correct.
Right.
I want
No pressure, no diamonds, right?
100%.
Right.
But I never liked asking for a dollar. So I worked at a pizzeria for a year. I clerked at a local law office in Harrison, New Jersey. He took care of me very well. So I started adding more things than just studying. So balancing the time is where the stress came in. Because not that I didn't care about the pizzeria, but I was a delivery guy.
Yeah.
So I was playing my recorded books while I was driving, helped out. It was really
A lot of monetizing.
It really came to when I was working for Ken Davey out in Harrison, New Jersey. First time I became like a quote unquote lawyer.
Yeah.
Like he was giving me motions to do and filing briefs and things that were going to impact real people's lives. So I had to make sure I gave him the best work product, but also I kept giving the best work product to school.
And that you found to be the most stressful part of the whole decade of like whatever it was, 7 years, 7 years to balance it out. Yeah.
To balance that out.
Yeah, it's funny that it's so crazy how every individual is so different, and it's something that Lewis and I talk about a lot in our classes with our team meetings and stuff like that. And actually, Lewis is one of the reasons why I'm actually even reading a book right now. I mean, I really haven't read a book since like the Dr. Seuss book, right? 'Cause seriously, I just don't like reading. It's just I'm not very patient to absorb that, and my comprehension level is not the best. So I'm actually doing what you said and what you did, which is I'm reading like say 10 pages. 20 pages, not overwhelming myself.
Okay.
And then I'm listening to it in the car and at the gym, right? And then I'll go back and I'll kind of go over it again. So it's really been, and we're reading a book called, right now, The 360-Degree Leader, which I actually mentioned to Lewis yesterday. I was like, you know what? I said, I know we've only been on a third book, and probably in my life, it might be like seriously, like outside of like a real school, it's probably like the second or third book I've ever read. The other two, I think, were the Millionaire Investor, like with the Keller book, right? The Gary Keller Millionaire Investor. And I read a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, which I read so long ago I don't even remember what it was. But the 360-Degree Leader, and we were explaining this to Lewis yesterday that we're reading right now, is like, it's so talking to me.
Okay.
Like about leadership, and it's really opened my eyes. So I thank Lewis for that because he's really not only become a business partner and a friend, but is also a great leader and a great teacher. So, but it's really, I find it very, superior, so to say, when somebody can just really not have a problem reading and comprehending, because I don't have that ability.
Well, one thing really is reading because you have to read, and one thing is reading because you want to better yourself,
Yeah,
right?
fair point.
And the hardest part is to reading to better yourself because you're not forced, nobody's forcing you, right?
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, most people make fun of you when you read.
Yeah.
Because they're not even at your level, right?
Yeah,
I've read over 100 books, and I'll tell you, everything that comes out of my mouth is basically almost something I've read.
Internalized.
Internalized, and actually you sound intelligent, because most of us are not intelligent, but attorneys read a lot of cases, and when they talk, you're like, wow, you know what I mean? And then you talk to them in person, and it might not be the same thing, but it's just language, right?
No, yes, that's definitely language, and it's been very, very impactful. I can tell you that. Really, really good stuff.
You definitely gotta give me the name of that book.
Yeah.
360-Degree Leader.
Yeah. I'll text it to you.
Definitely look into that.
But true story, which Lewis don't even know. It's like Lewis knows a lot about my life, but like back in 1990, my father passes away, right? And so you can imagine like my mother went through a lot of crap, right? So she winds up going to a psychic in like the 90s, just trying to find a way through life after a tragic event. And the psychic tells her that I'm going to become a lawyer. Now, if I learn one thing, don't go to that psychic because I'm not a lawyer. But I actually thought about it seriously about 2.5-3 years ago.
You would be great in the courtroom. You would be great in a courtroom.
He'd probably be content.
He'd be locked up. He'd be throwing him into the jail cell every day. I don't know when this is going to be posted, but right now there are no courtrooms due to COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
But, you know.
Which would be good for me.
Which would be good for you.
Yeah.
You'd be muted by the judges on Zoom.
Yeah, so what had happened was, I'm sure there's challenges in your line of work, and Lewis happens to be in many lines of work. He's in a restaurant business, real estate investor, sales, this, that, whatever you can think of, teaching people, coaching. There's challenges in every aspect of life and in business, right? So I think it was like 2.5, 3 years ago, whatever it was, and like I was having some challenges in my business, and I was just like, do I even want to do this anymore? And I'm like, I feel like I'm like, no offense to my colleagues or anything, but I just felt like there was just more for me to do at a higher level than just putting together a transaction. And I seriously thought about it. And what deterred me, which is sad, is the years it's going to take to get there.
On to the time that would,
Yeah. Which it's still in my mind every night, and not even maybe even not just to become an attorney, just to understand it better. Like I don't have to be, like I tell people, like you can get your real estate license and not do what I do and still make money based on a referral business, right? You can still monetize that license if you don't want to do what we do on a daily basis. Now I can go out and get past my bar, become an attorney, and have all this years of education and not become an attorney and still get a value out of it.
Correct.
But I did think about it, but I thought it was a funny story how technically I was somewhat supposed to be an attorney, but it didn't turn out that way. But it would have been fun.
That would have been a lot of fun. maybe not for your opposing counsel, but it would have been a lot of fun for you. You got that right.
And I think Lewis is right on point. A lot of contempt of courts.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I just got here. I just got here.
Your Honor, 2 youths.
2 youths, exactly.
But to your point, I think that's great for your followers and your listeners too. It's really important, I think, guys. Just because you see an obstacle on the way and you want to learn more about it, go learn more about it. So, like, if you're interested in certain law aspects, you can still buy the books and learn about what you want.
I think part of it too was just trying to understand like the seat that the attorneys play, because it's so easy to judge when you're on a different end. Like, what's taking so long? What's going on? Why is this? Why is that?
It's funny you say that, because typically people look for an alternative profession or career when their career is not working, right? And what we should be doing is we should be pivoting at all times to be looking for multiple sources of income, and then pick the one that satisfies you the most or that you're best at, right? You build a business, you leave it, and then you keep on doing, right?
Yeah.
So you can become an attorney, no pressure. You're not doing it because of the money. You're not doing it because you're doing it perhaps for personal growth.
Yeah.
Instead of, my real estate career doesn't work, let me become an attorney, let me make more money. Yeah. It's an alternate, and it's like, forget one, let me take one on. Yeah. Instead of like, let me just continue to build my businesses and have multiple businesses. Right. And at the same time, all the businesses come together, right? In my world, all my businesses come together.
It's a full circle.
Whether it's real estate, investment, construction,
it's a big
coaching, whatever. It's all the same thing, right? And it's the same brain, and it's easier to operate because you're looking at businesses, because businesses are people. You're looking at them from the people side, from your consumer side, instead of from you, the owner. Yeah. And then you're understanding people much better. Right?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And sometimes, I think in my case anyway, just for the record, I wasn't doing like bad numbers wise, but I just wasn't like, I just wasn't feeling it based on whatever reason it was. Like, it wasn't like money.
I'll tell you what the reason is.
What was it?
You don't have the right circle. When you have the right circle, people push you to do bigger and better things.
No, maybe.
Right? When you're the lonely, successful person, you have nobody to go to.
Yeah. Well,
right?
maybe.
That's big businesses created by the right people, the right synergy.
Yeah, it could be something I don't even recognize, which could have been that as well. But I just felt like there's more for me to offer, like the world, than just putting deals together.
I think, and this is my own personal opinion, but it's funny you say that, because I think everyone hits that wall. Or at least I hit that wall too. So in my career, it's like, I want to do more.
Yeah.
There's so much more that I think I could do. I want to go try and do it. Either I'm going to fall on my face, or I'm going to.
Yeah, but it's funny as the years go on. Like, we're all getting older, right? And in my 20s,
I'm not getting older. I'm looking younger and younger by the day.
Well, you look very young, that's for sure too. It's a good thing. But in my younger days, like, I was so against education. Like, I just didn't care. I just wanted to work and make money and whatever. So got stuck in the
It's a circle again.
Yeah, well, I was in a.
It goes back to that circle.
I was in a safety circle. Like, I'm working like in the garbage routes and making money, making overtime, and then it wasn't until like a certain period where I was like, wow, you know what? This kind of interests me, and you know what? And now, like, so many different things interest me now, which is part of growth and maturing as a person, I guess, right? Because again, if you would have told me 10 years ago or even 8 years ago that I'd be reading a book and presenting a chapter tomorrow, I'd be like, Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. Life changes.
6 months ago.
Even 6 months ago. I was trying to make it sound a little better, but thanks, Louis. that was actually yesterday. No, but so so you go this length to become an attorney, and then you were obviously at some point admitted to the bar, and then what? Then you began working with a gentleman named Kevin.
Yes. So I was admitted in. So I sat for the New York and New Jersey bar. So I sat 3 days straight of testing.
So now are you legally an attorney in New York and New Jersey?
Correct.
Okay.
I could practice in both states. So I sat for 3 days. I passed both bars in one shot. It was very fortunate to do so.
Did you bring that bottle of wine to your teacher? No.
No,
Okay.
that may have been considered a bribe.
Okay.
That one wouldn't have worked. I did, real quick, not to go off topic, but I did do that one of my first classes in law school. The guy looked at me and goes, "Do you know what you're doing right now?" I say, "I'm giving you a gift." Take that back. Take it back right now. I said, "Okay."
It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, so, but yes, I took the bars in New York and New Jersey. I was admitted first. I was admitted in New Jersey December 25th. Not 25th, that's Christmas. December 20th, 2014. I was admitted in New York February 3rd or 4th, 2015. And from the get-go, I've been with Kevin Fega.
Okay.
I'm still there. I'm off counsel to his firm.
He's based out of
White Plains.
Okay.
We're based out of White Plains. We actually both, even as of last year, became of counsel to Novik, Ponzini, Kosu, and Venditti, also based in White Plains, and created a multifaceted level firm.
Interesting. So is it fair to say, has Kevin been like a mentor to you?
100%. Kevin has taught me from day one. You know, he put my feet to the fire. He threw me out there. He go do the arraignment, and I learned trial by fire.
Did he have the style of go figure out, fall on your face, and let me know what questions you have, or a little bit of massaging and said, hey, watch out for this, watch out for that, but go and do it?
100%. He definitely wasn't there to let me fail. He definitely gave me a massage. He told me what to look out for, but he wasn't holding my hand either.
Yeah.
He threw me out there.
So a healthy balance.
It was. I think it was a great balance. I know people say go out there, do it for yourself, learn. Or some people their perspective is let me teach you everything and then walk you through it. Kevin was a really good balance.
Wow. So in how many years have you been working with Kevin?
I've been working for Kevin for 6 years now, for my entire legal career.
Yeah. So you're totally happy with it and everything's good.
Everything's been great. We worked out a great deal with each other. And again, he treats me right.
Which is important.
He still teaches me. He still answers my questions because this is a learned profession. Every day we're learning.
Same thing in real estate.
Yeah.
It's always something to learn.
The laws are changing. And, what the new zoning, this, that, taxes, whatever area we're practicing, the laws change. And he's always right there when I have a question. He doesn't say, hey, maybe you should go figure it out on yourself, on your own.
Yeah.
Go sit down. Tell me. What do you think?
Yeah. What does Joey the lawyer do for fun? I mean, because there's a lot of go, which is the real estate world, the attorney world, and so many other careers that are so go and good to work and blah blah blah. So what do you do for fun? What do you do for downtime?
I gotta make downtime. I realized because my first couple of years I wasn't making downtime, and I was just go. But what I love doing is, and it's gonna sound cheesy, I love hanging out with my family. I love hanging out with my friends. I grew up with the best group of kids in the Bronx that I could have ever met, and they're more like family. But what do we do for downtime? When I was younger, it used to be clubs. It was great.
Yeah, those days are over.
Those days are long gone.
It's happy hour now.
But now, that's it. Now it's,
Yeah.
For downtime, what do I like doing? I mean,
Let's go out. I'll see you at 4.
let's go out at 4. By 6:30, I gotta go to bed.
That's my perfect day.
For fun now, I mean, listen, me and my wife like going to restaurants, like going away.
So you're married too?
I'm married.
How many years been married?
I should have mentioned that. Sorry, ladies, I apologize.
He's taken.
I'm taken. I'm married 4 years.
4 years?
I'm married 4 years. I've been with.
See, I'm married at 19.
Yeah, I'm married at 13 and a half. I've been with her for 15 years. I've been with her since I was 18 years old.
So you must be tolerable.
Oh, listen. I tell her every day she hit the jackpot.
Oh. So maybe that's the way I gotta start learning.
No, don't.
No. Doesn't work.
No.
Doesn't work for everybody.
It's fun to throw that out there.
I should walk in the door and like, you know how good you got it.
No, honestly, I'm lucky. She supports She supported me because when she was working and grinding, and I was in law school, making peanuts, she was there. Never once complained. Never said, "I need more of your time. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Why don't we do?" Always supportive. This sounds stupid again. I even bust my chops about it, but I got lucky. I hit the lotto. With her.
Nice.
I did. With her, my family.
And most importantly, she stayed with you.
And she stayed with, and she still stays with me.
Huh. That's it tells me something.
You know, I mean, because now I have even less time than I thought I did before.
Yeah.
So, getting back to that, what I do for fun, we have my family has a house down in Jersey Shore in Wildwood.
Yeah.
Our summers down there, that's our fun. That's where we go, and all my family's down there. We have a bunch of houses down there, and we go to the beach every weekend. And
I can see like Joey the lawyer on the Jersey Shore.
Oh,
on the Jersey Shore, that show.
I could have been on that show. That show could have been on that show. I'm glad I was a little late, but I never been on the show.
But you're not Italian. Are you Italian? What's your last name?
My last name is Hladki.
How do you spell that?
It's Hlad, squiggly line, square.
I was going to say that. There's got to be a couple dots and something floating around there.
Sorry.
Because it's funny, because when I was stalking your page preparing for this podcast, I saw one of your videos talking about the wrong side of the law, right? And I swear to God, I thought it was a clip from like the Albanian My Cousin Vinny.
No, I'm half Italian, half Ukrainian.
Oh, you're half Italian?
My mother's
the good half?
Only a good half. my mother's Italian, my mother's full Italian, my father's full Ukrainian. Could have took over the world, so I did by becoming a lawyer.
Well, listen, I got to say, it's really been a real pleasure having you sit with us. I really have had a lot of fun. There's so much to talk about. I mean, we didn't get to half of the other stuff, so we'll have to have you back someday.
I would love to.
So, Joey, just to tell everybody where your practice is.
Guys, Joe Hladki, a.k.a. Joey the Lawyer, Westchester, 1133 Westchester Avenue, White Plains, New York. I'm a life attorney. So whether it's real estate, criminal defense, matrimonial, or one of my other passions is small businesses, especially right now with them struggling. I know they need a lot of help. I'm a life attorney. If you have a life event, I'm here to help.
Yes, just find Joey the Lawyer on Instagram as well. And thanks for checking us out for another episode. Again, Louis and Lamort, the agent investor, and thank you so much for checking us out.
And we won't stop, cause we can't stop. Hear the sound of my money machine. See my brand new Benz, watch the chrome rims gleam. The agent investors will find a home of your dreams. Investing in real estate will have you rolling in green. With the power and the knowledge at our fingertips, we are here to share and help get you rich. Eating fancy dinner, driving expensive whips, working out your brain like chest pressing dips. Stop leaning on the books and the courses you bought. The conversations we have cannot be taught. Tune into the podcast with Louis and Lamort. Our knowledge combined won't sell you short. And I'm out.